Hello, my name is David Eberl, and this is a presentation on PBIS. What is PBIS? It is Positive Behavioral Intervention Supports. It is a system of supports for teachers to keep disruptive students in check. Now, this doesn't just include disruptive students. It also helps keep inattentive students engaged with the teacher and the activities that the teacher is doing. This includes students who are struggling with material, students who already know the material, and students who are in the middle but just don't really care. Having these supports keeps these students engaged and will have them learn the material better. It all does come down to classroom management. Having a plan is pretty much mandatory. Make preparations ahead of time. Having lesson plans made weeks, months in advance helps you prepare and helps you be confident in what you are teaching. Having these plans keeps yourself on track and keeps the schedule going forward. To start off the year right, a teacher should always, on the first day of class, with every class that they have, should start off with the syllabus and the rules. Now, students may not like these rules. They may ignore the rules. They may not listen while you're going over the rules. But having these rules at the beginning of the year helps set the precedent and the expectations for the students. One aspect of keeping rules is the consistency. Starting off the year with enforcing the rules is good, but it really doesn't help if you're not enforcing the rules halfway through the year, or even a quarter way through the year, or even 3/4 of the way through the year. Consistently enforcing the rules through the entire year, from the first day to the last day, helps keep the students in the back of their mind saying, if I disrupt the class, I will be punished, and I may not like that punishment. That's why at the beginning of the year, first day of class, go over the rules, place these rules, have them visible on posters and flyers across the room so that they are visible to all who enter the classroom, and so that they are reminded of the rules and expectations of them. For students who follow the rules, there are positive consequences. They could be in the forms of a tangible object, a sticker, a smiley face, written gratitude by the teacher. This helps boost the confidence of the students, knowing that they are doing well, and it is a good sign that they are learning the material and that they should keep up the good work. Audible is a compliment, a recognition of the student's accomplishments verbally, a round of applause for a student who gets the work done, may be shy about getting up in front of the class and present something, but having that round of applause for that student will bolster their confidence and will push them to be more outgoing and to give themselves a greater chance at success. The third is giving the students a chance at an activity that they are engaged in or would like to be engaged, and have them be the leader of that activity. One example of this would be having a elementary class at reading time. Have one of the students who've been following the rules and have been very observant and are paying attention, have them read the book instead of just listening to the teacher reading the book to them. Have them demonstrate their ability of their reading skills to show and shine in front of other students by giving them a chance to read from the book or from a passage from a book. On the opposite side of the spectrum are negative consequences. These can be from outbursts from a student being inattentive, a student disrupting other students. Some of these consequences may just result in a verbal reminder of the rules and just once and it's taken care of. Some other students may persist in their disturbances and may need a second or third verbal reminder of the rules, and if it goes beyond that or the disruptions are more severe, a detention of during lunch or an after-school detention may be applied to that student if it is necessary. If the student, let's say, is disruptive and goes against the teacher's rules and regulations on a consistent basis during the whole class, at the end of the class, the teacher may pull that student aside and assign him a lunch detention after going over the reasons why that student is getting a lunch detention. On the more severe scale, if the student is being more disruptive and is actively being disruptive and will not stop being disruptive, administration officials may need to come in and help settle the child down, and a letter to the parents could be sent telling them why the student was acting out and what actions should be followed. All in all, having a plan is key. Make a schedule, make a chart or timeline of the material, make time for review. All three should be done before the school year starts. Having a schedule, knowing what you're going to teach on what day, helps you prepare for any irregularities that may happen. Having a chart of a timeline helps not only yourself as a teacher, but helps your students know what they are going to learn today, tomorrow, next week, next month, up to the end of the year. Having the schedule allows them to know what they should study, what they should read, and how they should prepare for each day and for each class. Making time for review is a lot harder now with all of these standardized tests, but even just taking a couple minutes a day just to review what the students have learned for that day, or taking some time out of a day before a unit test to review, or taking a week, sometimes even more than a week, for the students to review the material that they've learned in that year, to go over areas that students have struggled with. Having that time to review will help bolster their confidence and hopefully will give them the confidence to take these tests and pass those tests with flying colors. Now, when it comes to management, teachers should always have confidence in themselves. They should always be able to make a plan, make lesson plans up to a month in advance. This way, if anything were to happen, if they were to get sick, if there was snow days, if the schools were unexpectedly closed, having these lesson plans in place is a good way to manage not only yourself, but to manage the class as a whole. Now, when it comes to disruptive students, it really comes down to case by case. A student that is disrupting another student by talking to them, whispering to them, passing a note to them. Usually it will only take one or two verbal warnings of being caught in the act, and they should stop for at least a little bit. Getting to the root of the problem would require having the student to come after school and talk about why they were passing the note or talk about why they were talking during class, and hopefully a solution can be made. For a student who has emotional problems or students with disabilities that are disruptive, having a plan in place, having plans that allow the teacher to act when these students are acting out or being disruptive, having these plans in place gives them satisfaction of knowing what to do when these students are acting up, and it gives the students a peace of mind knowing that when they do act up, that the teacher will be able to keep them engaged in the material and will keep them on track and will keep these students learning. This has been a learning experience, learning how to manage a classroom, because it does come down to what can a teacher do to help keep their students learning. It isn't just about every single student is going to come in and learn. You're going to get students who don't want to learn, students who don't care what they're learning, students who with disabilities that make them unable to learn a certain way. Learning how to handle all of the diversity that a teacher gets is one of the best ways a teacher can learn classroom management and keep these students learning and engaged in the material.